Hi, and welcome to another tutorial in the Make the Cut Projects tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a cute little ladybug using just the custom shapes that come with Make the Cut. So I'm going to start off by switching my visual mat to black because that way I can assign opaque colors and it's a little bit easier that way to see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to switch the theme to black and white. And now you can see that I've got a nice black and white mat. So I'm going to start by coming over to Custom Shapes, and I'll click on Import Basic Shape, and I'm going to start with a couple of circles. So I'm going to double click once on that, and then again, and now you can see that I have two circles on my mat. And I'll X out of that. Now I'm just going to move one of them to the side for a minute. And the other one I'm going to make a little bit bigger. So first I'm just going to zoom in here so that it's a little bit easier to see what I'm working on. Now you can see that I have the circle selected and I've got these double-ended arrows, and that means that this is ready for resizing. So I can just grab one of these corners and it will resize proportionately for me. So drag that out. Now I'm going to come back and grab this other little circle, and this second circle is going to become the head. So I'm just going to position it over top of the body there. And now what I'm going to do is weld these two shapes together so that the head and the body become one shape. So I have the head selected. I'm going to hold down Shift and select the body and come down to Weld. And now that you can see that I have one shape. Next I'm going to add a couple little antennas onto this guy. So I'm going to come back over to Import Basic Shape, and I'm going to select a rectangle, so I'll double click that, and I'm also going to need a circle, so I'll double click that and hit the X again. Now you can see that right now I have the body, the rectangle, and the circle all selected. So if I just click off of those and then select them one at a time, I can select them individually. So I'm going to start off with the rectangle, and I just need to click on it so I've got those straight double-ended arrows, which means that I can resize. There we go. And what I'm going to do is drag this in so that it's fairly thin, and I'm going to shorten it up quite a bit. And now I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to make it quite a bit smaller as well. And I'm going to position it on the end of the rectangle just like that. And I'm going to select both of them now, so I'm just holding Shift to select the rectangle, and I'm going to weld those two shapes together as well. Now I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to move it over here, and I want my antenna to kind of point off to the sides a little bit, so I just need to rotate them. So I'm going to click on this again, and now you can see that I have the curved double-ended arrows, and that means that I can rotate my antenna. So I want one going that way. Now I need to copy and paste this. So I'm just going to right click on it, click on Copy, right click again, and click on Paste in Place. And now what I want to do with the second one, you can't actually see the second one right now because it's right on top of the first one, but I just want to give it a little flip. So I'm going to come down here to Mirror and click on that, and now you can see that my second antenna has flipped. And I'll just drag it over to where I want it positioned on my little ladybug. That looks a little bit high there. I'm just going to pull that down a bit. Maybe pull it in a little bit more to center it a bit better. Okay, so there's my antenna. Now I'm going to merge all of those shapes together. So I'm going to select one of the antennas, hold down Shift, select the other, select the body, and weld. Okay, so you can start to see that the ladybug is coming together. Now I'm going to add the wings. So I'm going to come back up to Import Basic Shape, and I'm going to pull in a circle again, and click the X. Now I want to make this circle a little bit bigger than the main body circle that I have here. So again, just clicking on it. Clicking on any shape just toggles between the different the resize, rotate, and skew options that you have. So you just click on it to get the one that you want, and here I've got my double-ended arrows again. And I'm just going to drag that out so that it's just a little bit bigger than the body, and that looks pretty good right about there. Now the next thing that I need to do is actually slice this in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab another rectangle, and I'm going to position the rectangle in the middle of the circle, and I need to drag it out so that the rectangle is covering one complete half of the circle, just like this. Now I'm going to select the rectangle and the circle, and I'm going to come down to Boolean join. And what this lets me do is join the two shapes in various ways. And just by scrolling through, you can see all of the different options that it leaves me with for joining the shapes. So this BA difference, that's the one that I want, because what I want is half a circle. So I'm going to keep it there. And now I also need a second half circle. So I'm going to right click on this, hit copy, right click again, paste in place, and again I need to flip that. So I'm just going to come down here to mirror and flip my second half circle. Now if you look over here on the layers palette, you can see that my wings and my ladybug body are both on the same layer, and I want them to be on different layers because I want to be able to color them differently. And in order to assign different colors to shapes, those shapes need to be on different layers. So what I'm going to do is select both of my wings, just like that, and then I'm going to come down to Selection to New Layer and click on that, and now you can see that I have one layer with the wings and a second layer with the ladybug's body. So now I can come up here to my Set Color option and I can select red, and now my wings have a nice red color. So now I need to position the wings, so I'm just going to bring them over onto my ladybug body, and I want to rotate them a little bit because I want them to be just a little bit open. Bring this second wing over and I'm going to rotate it open the other way. Line them up there. And you can just kind of play with that to get it lined up where you want it. And now what I want to do is weld the two wings together so that they are also a single shape. So I'm going to select one, hold down Shift, select the second, and click on Weld. So now you can see I have two shapes. I have the wings and I have the body. Now the last step that's needed is just those little black spots to make my ladybug really come to life. So one more time I'm going to come up to Import Basic Shape, and I'm going to select a circle. Click X to get out of that. And I need to make this circle a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to click until I get my resizing arrows and size that circle right down. Now I also want to make sure that my circles, my little spots, are on a separate layer. So right now I'm going to have this circle selected and I'm going to click on Selection to New Layer, and now I've got that little spot on its own layer. And now I can just start to copy and paste these spots and position them on my ladybug. So I'm going to right click, copy, right click, paste in place, and position my second dot. And I'm going to click Paste in Place again for my third dot, and just keep going until I've got all the dots positioned on my ladybug. So there you have a cute little ladybug that was created entirely inside Make the Cut, and you can go ahead and cut her out and add her to your cards or scrapbook pages or any other projects.